stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Surprisingly, I guess maybe not surprising, this thing is comfortable on gravel. It really is. Like, there's no issue. Even with the traction control, it behaves really predictably. I don't feel like there's any disadvantage. It actually feels much more comfortable than riding my V-Strom on gravel. This thing just, and since I adjusted my suspension to be softer, I really don't feel a lot of the little bumps, and that's kind of like the way I like it. The GPS has got a nice feature. You can tell where the gravel roads are for the most part until they're paved because it's dotted. So I kind of feel like I'm exploring an uncharted world when I'm riding gravel. And I kind of like that. You know, on a sport bike, a lot of people would stop and say, there's no way I'm going to be riding on it. But I've ridden sport bikes on gravel. It's not that big of an issue. But this is what this bike is all about, because I can ride on here and it doesn't feel like it's unnormal or unnatural to ride it, because this bike is so good at suspension. You don't really feel much. Things I like doing is braking my traction. When I'm riding, you see my traction control light doesn't let me. Yeah, it's kind of weird that you have to always turn off traction control. I don't like that. So watch this light over here. When I brake traction, that light will light up. See? It starts flashing and it controls the amount of spin. You can actually feel it. It's weird. But I don't like that in gravel. Because, you know, one way of steering with your bike in gravel and dirt is by letting it slide. And people do that a lot. See, look at that thing. People do that a lot on dirt bikes. Steer with the rear. It's like, why would anybody not want to ride around here as opposed to the highway? It's like, there's not even going a little bit too fast downhill into this corner. I think I've come here a couple of times. I'd love to live over here. That house, just isolated. Look at all the grass clippings. Isn't that crazy? You know, that's kind of like a solution to the biker life thing. It's like a dump truck putting grass clippings on the road, and all of a sudden they can't get through. You can see that this gravel is a little bit thicker and larger than the crushed gravel that you would be riding most of the time. And by the way, I just hit my rear brake and I felt that ABS kick in. It's a very odd feeling. You know, they got to make ABS that doesn't like behave the way it does. It feels like when I hit my brake and it comes on, that it just feels as if like there's something breaking. I don't like that feeling. Anybody now want to like ride an adventure bike? They're just so fun. I think this bike is really good. It does feel like slightly heavier than the V-Strom, but not much. And I think it goes a little bit wide, but that's because I think my rear tire is gone and I need to get a new one. So when you kind of combine that, it actually feels just as nimble as a 100-pound less V-Strom 650, but you are carrying 100 pounds extra. So man, this thing I love seeing the traction control go off. I never had a bike with traction control. This is so neat. I've never been here. So many farms. Like, I wish I had, you know, I always go into gravel corners slow, but some people are, you know, if you had knobbies on a bike, then you can go into corners and kind of lean it over, but I don't. I'm not interested in getting hurt or even dropping this bike.
Hey! Don't you ever say that again!